guys, so today we are going to be making peanut butter protein balls. And so yeah, these are really good for you, they're very filling, and so that's why I decided to do them. So here we go. So first we're going to go through our ingredients. So first off, we have half a cup of peanut butter. We also have 3 tablespoons of honey, a 1/4 tablespoon of vanilla, 1 1/4 cup of oatmeal, and a 1/3 cup of chocolate chips. So the reason these peanut butter protein balls are so great is because they give you lots of energy. They're packed full of protein, which hence the name. And so the reason is because there's tons of peanut butter in them, which has a lot of protein in it to keep you energized throughout the day. Honey is also very good for you. The vanilla is mostly just in there for flavor's sake. And then your 1 1/4 cup of oatmeal is also for long-lasting energy. So oatmeal is a grain. Carbs can get turned into energy, so they will give you a lot more energy throughout the day, along with your protein, your peanut butter. And so that's why these are great to make as like breakfast or as a snack or something to keep you energized throughout the day. And then your 1/3 cup of chocolate chips, everything in moderation. So even though chocolate chips aren't the best for you, they add a little bit of flavor. You can make this without the chocolate chips if you want to be completely healthy, but I like to add the chocolate chips just because I like chocolate and it adds a little bit more pizzazz to your protein balls. So utensils you'll need today, you will need a bowl. So just like a medium-sized bowl, you'll see it later. So you'll just need that medium-sized bowl. This recipe makes about 12 protein balls, so it's not a ton of ingredients, so you don't need a huge mixing bowl. You will also need a spatula and a spoon. So the spatula is to mix everything together. You'll want to have a spatula just because since there is a lot of peanut butter and oatmeal, you'll want to get them really mashed together, and a spatula does that a little bit more efficiently than a small spoon. So yes, you'll need that. You'll also need your spoon to get the right portion of mix to make the protein balls. So I usually get a big tablespoon spoon to scoop them out and then to make the balls. So that's what you'll need this spoon for. You'll need parchment paper or wax paper to put them on, because if you put them on anything else, it has peanut butter and honey in it, which is really, really sticky. So if you put them on anything else, they will actually stick to the paper. So after the parchment paper, you will also need measuring cups. And so you will need a full cup measuring cup. You'll need a half, a 1/3 of a cup, and a 1/4 of a cup measuring. And then you'll also need a tablespoon, because you'll need 3 tablespoons of honey, and then you'll need a 1/4 of a teaspoon for the vanilla. So those are just things you'll need in order to make these, to make sure your measurements are completely right. So I'm just going to leave this here for you guys. So just to go over some benefits of these, I said a couple of them earlier, but number 1, these are really good for your bones. I made this for 5th graders, so it's really good for their growing bones. So that's something to point out. It also fills you up. So I know when I was in grade school, I was always hungry. I wouldn't make it all the way through the day on just like toast or something. So this is great for breakfast. It's also, number 3, great for an after-school snack to get you by until dinner. So this is something that I love to make for kids in my neighborhood just because they really enjoy them. They taste good, and they fill them up, and they keep them full of energy throughout the rest of the night and for the rest of the day. Whereas also if you eat them for breakfast, you'll have tons of energy throughout the day. 4, it's lasting energy. So since it is oatmeal, which is a carb, you'll burn that carb and have more energy. Also, the peanut butter, the protein, will give you a lot more energy, which is why these are a great breakfast or snack. They also aid in athletic performance, so since you do have more energy, you'll be better playing basketball or soccer or whatever your fifth graders may do after school. And so that's just some things to point out. At the end, there will be a little fill-in-the-blank quiz thing with these, so just keep that in mind. So now we are going to add all of our ingredients into our bowl. So first we're going to start with our oats, which I have already added in. You need your 1 1/4 cup. You will add those in. Then you will add your honey in. So we have a tablespoon right here. You will add the honey in, and you will actually need 3 of these. So I have already added 2, and so there is 3 tablespoons of honey. Next, you will need your 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla, and you will add this in. So there is our 1/4 of vanilla. Next, you'll need your 1/3 cup of chocolate chips. You'll add those in. And then last but not least, you're going to add in your peanut butter. I'm going to give you a quick tip on something that makes adding peanut butter into these really easy. So first, you're going to need Pam, and you're going to spray your cup with Pam. I know this sounds silly, but it will make your life a lot easier. So you're going to spray your measuring cup all around the sides, down on the bottom, and be sure you get it really coated. Then you are going to add your peanut butter. So remember we said for peanut butter, we need 1/2 cup. So I have my 1/2 cup measuring cup right here, so we're going to fill that full. And then I don't know if you guys have ever used peanut butter before, but it is very sticky, which is why we coated it in Pam. So now look, I'm just going to scrape it out, and it comes right out. So we have no leftover peanut butter in our measuring cup. It is perfect. We have just the perfect amount, and so that's what we're going for with this recipe. Now we're going to mix it all together. Now that I got everything cleaned up and out of the way, you're going to want to mix with your spatula. I have learned that spatulas are easiest to use just because they really can get in there. They can mix the oats with the peanut butter, and you can make really big clumps of that, which you'll want, because then we're going to break it up into our protein balls and shape them into what we're going to be eating. So as you can see now, it's kind of just a big ball in there. And so you're just going to keep stirring until everything seems to be mixed in. And then we are going to make our protein balls. So now I have everything mixed up. As you can see, our protein balls, once you have it all mixed up, it's kind of a big clump of just peanut butter and oatmeal, which is what you want, because now we are going to shape them. So you're going to grab your spoon. You're going to get a good scoop, and be sure you wash your hands before this, because you are going to make the balls with your hands. And as you can see, like I said, peanut butter is really sticky, the honey is really sticky, and they just stick together to make your protein ball. And be sure you have your parchment paper or wax paper torn off before this, because that is what you're going to be setting them on, because like I said, they're very sticky. So if you use something else, once you pull the balls off the paper, they will stick and they may fall apart. So you're going to want to shape these. Like I said, this recipe makes about 5 or 6, makes about 12, give or take a few. And so you're going to just make all of these and set them on your parchment paper, and then once you are done, stick them in the fridge for 30 minutes to cool off, and just so they harden even more. So just so you know, this is about the size I usually go for. It should just kind of fit right in the middle of your palm. And so if you get a tablespoon size spoon, I just kind of fill that up, and that's usually about the size that I do. So 30 minutes later, we're back. Our protein balls have been setting up in the fridge. They should be all done. And now we are going to test your knowledge about some of the benefits. So we're going to do a little fill in the blank. So think back to the beginning of the video, and I said that these were really good for something in your body. So they are really good for your blank. Fill in the blank here. Next, they are a great after-school blank. fill in that blank. And then also they give you lots of blank to play after school. So that's just a little way to test your knowledge making these at home, seeing if they do give you lots of energy. They should, with the proteins and the oats and everything like that. So I'm glad you watched my video, and I hope you enjoy your protein balls.